What's up, guys? Hopefully, I can get this in one take because I don't want to go ahead and misconstrue anything or try to, you know, um, just make multiple takes and figure out what I'm trying to say or anything like that. I want everything to be genuine in the sense that, like, hey, this is what happened. Um, I went to Waffle House and I was just watching, my typical stuff on YouTube, just Vanoss gaming and stuff like that. And I got finished eating and everything. Now, next to the Waffle House is a racetrack, and not that I had a craving of any sort because the Lord did deliver me from it, but I did go purchase a pack of cigarettes. It used to be a huge addiction of mine. Nowadays, I'm not doing it as much, although, it's there. Um, but before all that, I want to say about the past month and a half, um, I started to really hit an all-time low, in which I'm not, I don't see myself recovering from for a minute, and I really am trying to distract myself from it. But ultimately, nothing I do can really distract myself from everything that I've been experiencing lately. So let's just get down into it. So I had a breakup recently, and I thought that this would be a second chance at a relationship that I had 2 years ago. Not with the same girl, but the same. Everything was going. The pacing was good. Just everything about this other person that I was dating just screamed, "Oh, it was. It's gonna be a second chance at a relationship, that I really wanted to succeed, in which it didn't. And I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. In fact, it's probably a good thing that it ended. There were many complications on her end, but majority of the time I was just sitting right here in my room waiting for Lord knows how long before anything would just happen, in terms of like what we would do next, because I wanted to pursue her more and everything like that. Um, but the relationship that took place 2 years ago was a relationship that I ultimately messed up and praying that, you know, it ends. I had people whispering in my ear and people bantering her, and everybody that was doing it got other family and friends to do the same thing, just side with them. And ultimately, I didn't feel like it was an okay thing to do, just be in this relationship while all of this is happening. She knows that it's happening because she was there to witness it. And then she also knows that it's happening behind the scenes. And I ultimately thought that it would be wiser and it'd be better that just so that way I got people out of my ear, and just so that way she lived a happier life, that instead of her, constantly being berated with insults and name calling and stuff like that, um, that we broke up. It'd be better that we broke up. And I prayed that she found somebody new, somebody that would actually appreciate her. Um, so backtrack about 4 or 5 months ago, I texted her out on a whim, asking to talk, and ultimately I laid everything out on the table, saying, "Hey, listen, it's been this long, and honestly, I do miss you, and I would like to get together again. Things would change, and honestly, I want it to be better than the first time we tried." Um, in which she said she found somebody and she was taking things seriously. So I'm glad. I'm super happy about that. when that happened, when I got that confirmation that she herself was seeing somebody else, somebody that, really had everything that I had planned, everything that I had said that I wanted to do when we start over, everything was already happening for her. And I'm so happy because, at the end of the day, she's getting what she wanted. But I'm also kind of upset knowing that, I'm not the one to give it to her. They it's been a long journey at this point. And now here I am. I get into a couple more relationships after that. I see some people, things don't work out. I'm thinking I have a second chance with these people. Maybe I can change the outcome by maybe avoiding certain people and not allowing people to enter the relationship in the way that they did the first time. And every single time that I tried avoiding that situation, the relationship would go sour one way or another. And I didn't enjoy that. It kind of, I wouldn't say it kind of, it really lowers my self-esteem knowing that, everything that I'm doing to uphold a relationship, all of a sudden it goes into the toilet because, there's some complications, whether it's, having to deal with kids and the ex, because the ex is still involved with the kids and stuff, or, somebody uses your insecurities and such in a way that when you have an argument, it just kind of makes you shut down and ultimately want to end a relationship. And it kind of sucks. So, yeah, that was that. And I can't say that I'm necessarily happy. I've spent so much money and done so many things trying to, I guess, alleviate or maybe run away from whatever pain that I've been feeling. And ultimately it hasn't gotten me anywhere. And it's kind of unfortunate because that is, what I've been trying to run away from. So fast forward to now. Like I said, I just went to Waffle House, ate. I went to Racetrack, bought a pack of cigarettes, and got into smoking. Again, I was delivered from the addiction. Like, there was no craving. All I know was I didn't need it. I didn't need it at all. And yet here I am doing it. And that was when I started to have a conversation in my own head. And that conversation kind of took a turn. I'm over here wondering, like, at first this morning I was on the way to Waffle House just saying, Lord, I'm used up. I'm worn out. Like, there's nothing. I'm lost. And there's nothing for me to do that'll allow me to please you, live the way that you want me to do, live the way that you want me to, and just ultimately please you the way that you want me to, and do the things that you want me to do, right? Look at me now. I'm over here in a depressed state. I'm doing a lot of sins that, ultimately he's been trying to push me out of the habit of doing. And yet I'm so weak to the point where I just lose myself in my actions, and I just keep doing it and doing it and doing it, all for some sort of small satisfaction, when in reality it's not doing anything but hurting me even more. Because after the fact, when I see a video related to the gospel, or somebody just come into the revelation that they have found the way, that Jesus is the way and stuff like that, yeah, I'm happy about that. But at the same time, I know right in that moment, I used to have that sort of, revelation as well. And now I'm conflicted as to whether or not I'm even following the path that the Lord wants me to. So, um, yeah, it turned into a whole conversation while I was smoking on the bed of my truck. Um, it's like the voice asked me, "Why are you doing this when you know you've been delivered from it?" And I, in response, now all this is going on in my head. The only thing that I could think of was, I I don't even know if I'm on the right path. And this is the one thing that I can turn to at least, like, I guess, relieve some of that pain. And then the voice said, "But if that's the case, you didn't have a craving, you didn't have a desire to do it, and yet you're doing it right now." And I was like, I don't know how to answer that, And then it kept speaking, and this was the message that it told me to tell you, as well as, you just reiterate, and that is, this life is long, and it's hard, and it is not going to be easy. There is a war going on that, the devil is trying to win, and that war is all of the Lord's children. All of the Lord's children are on a pathway to go into heaven and rejoicing with the Lord, because they'll finally get to see him and see Jesus and everything like that, and just rejoice in heaven. And the devil is over here really testing the waters. The more that you succeed, in trying to in walking the path of righteousness, the more you're going to be tested. And like I said, I was weak. I still am weak. Not in any way, shape, or form am I fit, no matter how physically strong I am, which, I mean, it's not that strong. And, no matter what I do to try to resist any sort of temptation, any sort of lust, any sort of anything, the devil will win. And that was ultimately what it was trying to get at, is you're letting it win. You're letting him win, because you're talking yourself down when you are forgetting who is on your side. The Lord is on your side, and the Lord is never going to lose. The Lord has always, ever known to win in every situation. And, yeah. So, after that, told me to put the cigarette out, to come home, and to pray, which I haven't done yet, but I will. But to also relay that message to you. And that's basically, the devil's only going to win if you allow it. Allow him. If you allow yourself to get into this mindset where you just feel like everything is against you, and you just have nowhere else to go, that you're lost, and that nobody loves you, and nobody is out to help you, then the devil is already winning. But the moment that you recognize that the Lord is still there, the Lord still loves you, is the moment that you start to win, is the moment that you start to recognize it. I feel like that was a revelation in and of itself. It's like, yeah, that's it. That's awesome. I'm glad that I had this conversation with whoever it was, whether it was the Lord himself just speaking in third person or something like that, or it was just me trying to give myself a pep talk to try and boost not only morale, but like boost myself in the sense that I'd be able to grow that relationship even more. Just open up the word and, get to opening up that walkway, between me and the Lord, to go ahead and walk the path to him. It's been 2 years. It has been 2 years since this whole road started. This road of everlasting depression. And the decline just happens gradually, no matter how. I feel like I would be taking 1 step forward and 2 steps back. And then there was a period in time where it was just me and the Lord at an all-time high in that relationship between me and him. And then I let somebody else get into my life, and it tore me down. Rather than being alone with the Lord, I let somebody else intervene. And it's not to say that she wasn't for the Lord. We did do Bible studies and stuff like that. And, we talked about God and the gospel and everything like that. But it was just like, I wasn't ready. I just wasn't ready. And here I am. So, all in all, I don't think I'm in a losing battle anymore, because the Lord has gotten me to recognize my faults, my mistakes, what I've been doing to allow the devil to win. And now I know where to go. And I'm praying that he does the same to you in this video. But yeah, it's just a tough road to walk. I mean, it's straight. It is a straight line, but there are so many distractions, so many pathways that veer off the path of righteousness. And sometimes you get wrapped up in it. It's almost like the seeds that are planted, in the soils, and then the vines just go ahead and choke out the stem, ends up killing the plants. So it's a pretty tough road. But I made this video ultimately to tell you guys, don't give up. Don't give up. Because I legit was at a breaking point even today. Just on the way to get some breakfast. So, yeah. Either way, y'all have a good day. God bless y'all. Love y'all, and I hope to see y'all in the next video. See ya.